noticed that, like, a lot of people throughout my lifetime has, I don't know, like, thought that nothing happened to me, or, like, my life was, like, 100% good all the time, or, like, I was just so happy and all of that. And, I mean, for the most part, I try to stay happy in all situations, but I'm human, so it's like I do have moments where it's just like and I have times when I get super depressed. Yeah, like, I try to stay away from anger, even though there's times when I get angry, because I'm human and things happen. So I just wanted to kind of talk about how to put it, why I do what I do and how I do it. How I guess from the outside it looks like I'm just so happy and nothing happens to me. And yeah, I'm also doing this because several times throughout my life, just different people that didn't know each other, as far as I know, they've, like, said to me, like, oh, I want to make you angry, I want to get you mad, and, like, you know, just for the heck of it, just for entertainment purposes, I guess, and just, I don't know, to rattle me, or I don't know why they do it. But that's another reason why I'm doing this video, is because what happens is I don't like to spread that energy around. When I am in a down mood, or when I'm mad, sad, upset, disappointed, all of that, I typically try to keep it to myself, in the sense of isolating myself. I isolate myself and I spend that time with God. I go over what's bothering me with God. I analyze it to figure out what I've been doing wrong. How did I get in that situation in the first place? All of those things. So when I am mad, sad, upset, you know, just going through the emotions of life, I keep those things to myself as best as I can. And because I've had so much experience with those types of feelings, what I put out into the world is what I wish I saw more of through other people, and what I know people that are going through the same types of feelings kind of need, because that's what I need in those situations. So instead of putting out, you know, misplaced anger and resentment and all of that, what I typically do, like I said, is isolate myself. And then when I am around the world and just out and about, I'm projecting and putting out good feelings. I want people's experience when they interact with me to be, for the most part, good. If I can help it, depending on what the situation is. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. The situation or the circumstances is, I would like for people's experiences around me to be, for lack of a better term, a little more pleasant than what we all naturally just get in everyday life, because there's enough negativity out there. So it's not that I'm over here trying to be all positive all the time or anything like that. And I understand that people go through stuff. That's why a lot of people naturally can just talk to me, and they come to me to talk to me. But I do want to encourage people, because I know how rough, how hard things can get. And I don't wish that on nobody, not even my worst enemy. So yeah, it's like I try to put out there, like, try to stay positive, because that's something that I tell myself all the time. Like, no matter what's happening, I have control over how I'm feeling, in the sense of I don't have to stay in a negative place. And it's so hard sometimes to keep a positive mindset, and I know that I'm going to fall short because I'm human. But that doesn't mean that I won't strive to be a lot more positive than what I naturally may be in whatever the circumstance may be. And so I put that out there to the people that understand where I'm coming from, that needs the encouragement. And for those that don't need the encouragement and just don't understand, don't want to understand, then my videos are not for you. And I guess you could say I'm sorry, but not sorry. Like, I'm sorry that you can't get it, and maybe someday you will. These are videos for people that go through things and tough times, much like I do, that need to be uplifted and maybe don't have a support system or a good support system that can give them that encouragement when they need it. I've experienced that so many times in my life. And it's heartbreaking to think that other people feel the way that I feel sometimes. And I know that I'm strong, and I know that I have my weak moments, just like everybody does. So I encourage people. And the way that I guess I make it seem from the outside, like, oh, nothing ever happens to her. Like, she's unrelatable because nothing ever happens to her. That is a bold-faced lie from the pits of hell. I am human. I go through a lot of things. Actually, when I have tried to open up to people and talk to them about it, they don't understand the things that I've been through. And so I've learned to keep it to myself and take it to God, which is the best thing that I could possibly do. And plus, I don't want to burden anybody with what I've got going on. Everybody has enough things going on in their own world that they're trying to figure out. I don't mind when people talk to me about their issues because it's a gift that God has given me. He has blessed me with this since birth. From a very young age, adults, people in my neighborhood, people that would babysit me, older kids would come to me for counsel and to help them get through things. And they just opened up to me, and I helped them to work through situations. And I love that about me. And I'm not going to change that for anybody. But for those that are that quote unquote, because I've seen a lot of memes of talking about like, what happens when the strong friend needs that support or something like that. I'm paraphrasing here. Cut me some slack. I'm like driving and that's my main focus. But sometimes I need support. I need encouragement. And I give it to myself. I get it from God. And on the rare occasion that somebody cares or wants to enough to try to encourage me, I welcome that as well. But I know that that's far and few. And wait, how do you say that? It's far and in between. That's not the phrase. But it doesn't happen often. I'll just go ahead and put it that way because I can't really think about how to say that. It's not coming up. I'm not pulling up that file right now. But yeah, like for me, it's easier if I isolate myself, keep my negative thoughts and feelings to myself, and deal with them with God. And so when I do step back out there, I'm able to encourage and be that helpful daughter, friend to people that need it. Okay, so I just got distracted and kind of lost my train of thought, or at least where I left off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reiterate that I'm assuming the reason why it seems like I never go through anything and that I'm like always pushing positivity is because not only do I know that other people are going through different forms of suffering, I also suffer myself. And sometimes you just don't have support or proper support to help get you through these things. But I've learned that God is our support. We come in this world alone, we die alone. And He can help us through anything. We just have to take our problems, our woes, our distress, our anger, our pain, our failures to Him. And He'll help guide us through. And so for me, one of the gifts that He gave me and blessed me with is being able to encourage people, being able to understand people on a much deeper level than maybe they're even aware of within their own selves. So, or should I say themselves? let me clear that up. Themselves. And so that's what I do. Like, that's what I do. And when I make my videos of saying, like, you know, stay positive and stuff like that, the reason why I'm saying that is because I already know if you're listening to the video and you need to listen to the video, you're already in a negative space. So I'm just telling you what helps me to get out of my negative headspace and what I've seen work for other people. Because, like I said, I don't wish the pain that people feel through everyday life on anyone. And I know that we all have to go through it. But that doesn't mean that I have to just sit around and wallow in it. And that doesn't mean that you have to sit around and wallow in it. And sometimes that's part of the healing process, is to sit and wallow in it. And I understand that. Like, seriously, when the pandemic hit, and it wasn't because of the typical like depression that kind of happened for the average person during the pandemic of, you know, being isolated and alone. It wasn't that. I was going through my own trials and tribulations during that time. And it's like I took a nice chunk, most of that was spent in me. Oh, wow. I like look over to the left. I'm sitting at the light, and there's like a business, and it's called V Blessed. And that's like my initial. So I feel like that's like a confirmation from God, and thank you, God, for that. Thank you, Lord. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like we don't have to wallow in it, and sometimes we do need to, or it's good for us to wallow in it a little bit so we can learn from it and figure out what we need to figure out from it. It happens. It's a good way to analyze and figure out how you got to where you got, and like how you contributed to whatever is going on in your situation, if you contributed. Yeah, it's a good way to figure some things out and to start the healing process, or even if you're in the middle of your healing process, it helps. Another thing that I would suggest, and another thing that I do, is I take the time to try to heal. It's like, I can't say that I've always done that, because no, that would be a bold-faced lie. But that's what I'm doing now. It's like, clearly I need to heal from more than a few things, and that's what I'm doing. That's where my time is going. That's where my energy is going. That's where I am at this stage in my life. And so for the past few years, I have been quite isolated. Not too many people have seen me in the past few years. Not too many people have heard from me in the past few years. And when people did try to contact me, I let them know that I'm like in a healing process and God has me isolated. And that's okay. And some people understood, some people didn't understand. And that's really not anything for me to worry about, because that's their own deal. And yeah, all I can do is just hope that and pray that they'll get it someday, and that God will help show them that they shouldn't take it personally. Sorry, I had like a distraction of safety in front of me that I needed to focus on. But yeah, it's like you can't expect somebody to be there for you, because a lot of people are used to me being their confidant and helping them work through situations if that person is going through their own stuff. And yeah, I'm also saying this because I know I reached out to a few people during the time of me trying to figure things out that I would go to, and they weren't able to be there for me. And it could possibly be because they were going through their own thing as well. I don't know. All I can do is respect it and, give them their space. And that actually helped lead me to realize that I needed to take my worries and my pain to God and let Him help me, because He's always there. He's always there. We're the ones that turn our backs to Him. We're the ones that ignore Him. He's always there. And so yeah, at the end of the day, when I hop on a video or when I am seen out in public or something like that, I do have a smile on my face, and that's mostly because I spend a lot of time by myself. So when I do get around people, I'm happy to see them, even if we don't really have like the best relationship or whatever it may be. It's like it's like I'm blessed to see them. I'm happy that they're doing good, and so I'm happy. I'm smiling. When I like go out and about to go run errands and I run into the cashiers and all that, like I'm happy to see them. It's like, okay, these people are working, and guess what? I can help them to have a pleasant moment in their workday. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that, and I think that more of us need to do that, because come on, let's face it, like we've all had jobs where it's just like, oh, and we're like kind of dragging through it. It's like, why not let the experience that someone has around you be more pleasant than not pleasant? Like, why not? So I don't know. I mean, I know other people think quite the opposite than that, and that, I mean, I guess that's fine, but that's just not the way that I'm wired. And I try to keep my pain and woes and all that stuff to myself. I don't need to wear it all out there and lash out at people and all of that stuff, for the most part, when I can catch it. Like, but sometimes it does happen, and for the times that it has happened in the past, I apologize to anyone that I've ever really lashed out at, and it was for no good reason of their own. It was just things that I was going through, because it was misplaced anger or hurt or something. Yeah. So that's why I do what I do. That's why, I guess, from the outside, it seems like nothing ever happens to me. That could be no further from the truth. It's just, I don't display it unless it just happens and I can't, I don't have a hold on it yet, and I haven't fully released it to God. Like, I don't display it. I keep it to myself. I deal with it behind closed doors with God. I hope that this can help somebody. I hope that for those that don't understand this part of me, this helps you to to get some kind of clarity on the matter, and to realize that, yes, I'm human too. Yes, I go through things too. And yeah, I've just found that my support system is God, so I take it all to Him. Anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and God bless you all.